Namaste. Welcome to our class today. When you're ready, let's take a moment to come into our Shavasana, into our constructive rest pose. Taking a moment just to settle the whole back body down to the earth. Having some warmth, a blanket, some support perhaps for the back of your head. Keeping your socks on. Arranging legs and feet, arms and hands comfortably. Just allow your eyes to close. Starting to become aware of our breath. So see if you can just allow yourself to take 3 deep breaths on your inhalation and your exhalation. As you settle in to a natural rhythm of your breath, being aware that throughout our practice today, you will hear sounds inside your room, sounds outside. And just remembering that these are not distractions, not disruptions. Simply what's happening around us as we lie here and as we breathe. Just beginning to notice your mind as it perhaps starts to wander, jumping from thought to thought as it does. See if you can gently guide your attention and focus to your stomach or your chest. And as you breathe in, just feel the stomach and the chest rise. And as you breathe out, feel the stomach and chest fall. Simply continue in this practice as we observe here today the sensations of our breath. Noticing your mind as it wanders. Just releasing, if you can, that thought, returning your attention and your focus to your breath. Breathing in, just follow your breath in. Breathing out, following your breath out. The mind wanders. Gently guide your attention back to your breath. Just releasing expectations or judgments of your practice. Just relaxing here today and breathing. Breathing in, feeling the stomach rise. Breathing out, feeling the stomach fall and continue. moment to be comfortable in stillness. Sensing what it's like to relax here today and breathe. And then very carefully, very slowly, bring your awareness back into the room, back onto your body, resting on the earth. And if the knees aren't already bent, just start to take a bend up the knees. Just keep the soles on the feet, of the feet onto the floor for a moment. Breathing nice and deeply down into the belly, and when you're ready, we're going to draw the knees up over the chest. Then interlace the fingers around the knees, around the shins, and either have a moment of lovely stillness or gently rock from side to side, just stretching out the lumbar spine. Just get a nice compression into the belly, into the front of the hips. Maybe just starting to blink the eyes open, allowing some light to come back in. Slowly from side to side, if you're rocking from side to side. Being aware of how the body presents itself for our practice today. Any niggles, any tension that we need to look after during our practice, and always remembering that if we need to take a break at any time, just take a break, come back, take a nice child's pose, either kneeling or seated, bending up the knees and lowering the head. Now bring your knees back to centre. Keep the hands where they are. Inhale. Squeeze, guide the thighs in towards the chest a little bit more. The lower back will come off the mat, and as you exhale, start to extend the legs. Point the toes towards the sky. Take the arms overhead to where it feels comfortable. Inhale, wrapping the arms and hands around the legs as you guide the thighs and knees in towards the chest. Exhale. And just allow ourselves to do that a couple more times. Warming up the whole length of the spine, into the hips, the shoulders, the arms, the legs, possibly feeling that a little bit more down into those core abdominal muscles. Check how the shoulders feel. Let this be our last exhale. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor. Release the arms and hands to rest back alongside the body and take the legs all the way out in front. For a moment, just release the little toes out to the top two corners of the mat. Give yourself a second to ensure that you feel comfortable resting on the earth. The body's nice and symmetrical. Bring some awareness to that neck, to your chin today. Tucking the chin down towards the chest. Keeping that super length through the spine. Up through the neck, up through the crown of the head. Shoulder blades sinking down into the floor. The hips relaxing as we sink the toes out to the top two corners of the mat. And make sure the feet are about hip width apart. Coming back to the sensations of the breath. Let's bring some engagement into the legs. Point the toes towards the sky. We're going to come into Apanasana with a twist. Leave the left leg nice and heavy on the earth. Point the toes towards the sky. And start to take a bend in your right knee. Interlace your fingers around the right knee, right shin, as you guide that right thigh in towards the side of the body. And just check the toes on the right foot point up towards the sky as well. Breathe in here. Let's release the right hand and extend that right arm all the way out at shoulder height. So the back of that right arm is resting on the floor beside you. Take the back of the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, use that left hand to slowly, carefully guide that right knee across the body. So taking this twist to where it feels comfortable, not forcing that right knee down towards the floor, but allowing it to find its natural resting position. Enjoying that super rotation through the body. Keep breathing. Inhale here, as you exhale, allowing that right leg to come back across the body, releasing the sole of the right foot down onto the floor, straightening out that leg and then bringing the arms and hands to rest back alongside the body. Sinking the little toes out to the top two corners of the mat, feeling nice and symmetrical, resting on the floor, with not loss of safety of the neck and the chin, still tucking the chin down towards the chest, and very much coming back to that natural rise and fall of the belly. As you inhale, as you exhale. Let's bring engagement back into the legs, toes towards the sky. This time keep the right leg nice and heavy on the earth. Start to bend up the left knee, interlace the fingers around the left knee, left shin, toes on the left foot also pointing up towards the sky, Apanasana on this side. Breathe in here. Extend your left arm all the way out at shoulder height, back of that left hand resting on the floor. Take the back of your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, using that right hand to slowly, carefully guide that left thigh across the body. Again, to where it feels comfortable on this side, not forcing the knee down to the floor, but just enjoying that super rotation through the spine today. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Keep sinking that left shoulder blade and arm down into the floor. Inhale here, as you exhale, allowing that left leg to come back across the body. Slowly, carefully releasing the sole of that left foot down onto the floor when you're ready. Straightening out the leg, flopping the little toes out to the top two corners of the mat and bringing the arms and hands to rest back alongside the body. We're going to bend up the knees, draw the knees up over the chest. Just take the hands and fingers around the knees, around the shins, and when you're ready, you're going to separate the knees in the direction of our armpits to come into happy baby. So when you're ready, you want to take a bend through the left knee, the right knee, draw them in towards their respective armpits. You're going to take your hand maybe to the outside of the knee, the calf muscle, or maybe the hands will reach the underside of the feet. Happy baby, opening the hips here and gently rocking from side to side. Bringing the knees back to center, hug the knees in and gently rock from side to side. Knees come back to center, raise your right arm. Keep that right arm elevated as you carefully roll onto your right side, resting here for a moment with your head on that raised arm. Allowing yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. Very carefully, very slowly and in your own time today, bring awareness and attention into your left fingers, your left hand. When you're ready, push down into that hand. Use that hand to steady yourself as you push all the way back up. Let's come into our Sukhasana, into our easy pose. Find a cushion from your sofa, a yoga block, or rolled up blanket to sit comfortably. Deciding the best position for your legs today. Maybe having the legs extended all the way out in front. Be mindful of hamstrings. Take a rolled up blanket to prop up the back of the thighs if you need to, or find that comfortable cross-leg position. Feel fully comfortable through the thighs, the knees, the ankles, the feet. Have a little wiggle around with the sitting bones on top of the block. Feeling comfortable and neutral through those sitting bones. Nice neutral pelvis. Just release the hands onto the thighs for a moment. Soften and release the shoulders down the back and enjoy that space and length. Just starting to create through the torso. Feeling more space around the lungs and the heart. Around our ribs. Around the stomach. Feeling space in the back body around the shoulders. Space and length through the vertebrae. Through the right and the left side of the neck, up through the crown of the head. The jaw is soft. Release the tongue into the base of the mouth. When you're ready, we're going to take the arms nice and wide. Guide your palms towards me. We're going to cross the arms in front. Take the hands to the shoulders. We're going to inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Just giving ourselves a nice hug today. Inhale. Exhale. Doing that a couple more times. On your next exhale, just widen the arms, opening the chest again. And then crossing the arms back in front. Find the hands to the shoulder blades. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. A couple more nice deep breaths in, maybe closing the eyes. And on your exhale, just widen the arms, taking the fingers and hands all the way out. Nice, release the hands. Change the course of your legs if you need to. And things are going to start to go to sleep a little. Ensuring that the sitting bones still feel comfortable. Coming back to your Sukhasana, your easy pose. We've not lost that lovely length of the spine. The shoulders haven't started to creep up. Keeping that space very much around the chest. Nice length through the neck. Crown the head towards the sky. We're just going to mobilise the shoulders a little bit more today. So what we're going to do is take our right arm across our body. So the palm is towards the back of the room on that right hand. And then from here we're going to cross the left arm under. So the palm is towards our head, towards our face. And as we take the right arm over, see if you can start to feel that stretch around the right shoulder blade, around that right rotator cuff. Just breathe in here. This is particularly nice if you've been on a keyboard, a little bit too much. Feeling that stretch there. If it's too much, just back off a bit. How you take that right arm across the body will depend on how tight the shoulders and the arms are feeling. Nice. Inhale. As you exhale, just release the arms, and let's try that on the left side. So take the left arm across the body, palm towards the back of the room. Bend that right elbow as you take that right arm up. Palm of the right hand is facing you. And then remember, how you take that left arm across the body is dependent on how the shoulder feels, the tightness around that left rotator cuff. So breathe in here, feeling that stretch. Good. This stretch feels good in my shoulders. I've had two very active Cocker Spaniels that have been pulling me on their walks. So this actually feels really, really nice for my shoulders today. Great. Inhale, as you exhale, release the arms. Let's interlace the fingers behind us. Just draw the shoulders down. Maybe take your gaze up towards your ceiling, opening the chest. Nice seated, Ustrasana, seated camel pose. Breathe. Nice enlivening as you pose as you open the chest. Inhale here, as you exhale, release the arms, bend up the knees, come into a seated child's pose. Just take the arms and hands around the knees, lower your head, just breathe here, and release the back body. Inhale. As you exhale, just releasing your forehead from the back of your forearms, your wrists coming up slowly, carefully. Let's release the arms and the hands. Let's come off of our cushion, our block, or our blanket. We're going to get ready to come into our tabletop position. So let's take some padding for the knees. Roll up your blanket. And keep the socks on for a moment longer before we come into our down facing dog today. A nice folded blanket to protect the knees. Tabletop position, looking after wrists, hands and fingers. Want the wrists directly underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers apart. Draw the inner elbows in towards one another. Look down at your knees, make sure the knees are hip width apart. That's creating space in the lumbar spine, around the pelvis. A bit more space into the area of the belly. Got that length through the right and the left side of the neck. Keep your gaze down towards the mat. Push the earth away. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the sternum and our gaze forward. As we exhale, arch the back into cat, take your gaze towards the mat. Couple of rounds of our lovely cat-cow here. Check those shoulders don't start to creep up around the ears. Breathe in slowly, carefully. If you need to take a break with the wrists, bringing some movement back into the wrists, hands and fingers. Just sink down into child's pose. If you lose a thread of the breath, don't worry either, just keep breathing. On your next exhale, come back into a lovely neutral spine. Keep pushing the earth away. We're going to inhale here on all fours, and as we exhale, just sink down into child's pose. Come into a flow here. Inhale, coming back onto all fours. Exhale, sinking down, sink the hips down towards the heels, mount the belly and the chest. Continue with your breath, slowly, carefully. Take care not to rush. We're going to do something a little bit different as we come onto all fours, onto our inhale. Keep your navel drawn into towards the spine as you come up. Inhale here, outstretch your right arm, left foot, toes towards the earth. Exhale, bring the hand down, the knee down, sink down into child's pose. Inhale, on all fours, outstretch your left arm if this time, your right foot, toes towards the earth. Exhale, releasing the hand, the knee, sinking down into child's pose. Continue, keep drawing that navel in towards the spine. That's going to challenge and strengthen up those core abdominal muscles, the lower back into the pelvic floor. But just be mindful how you feel today. If you need to take a break, listen to the body and release down into child's pose. Let's do a few more here. Well done. Really reaching out through that leg, the foot, the arms, the hands. Strengthening the muscles through the arms and the legs as you do that. Keep drawing the navel in. 2 more here. Inhale. Out, stretch through the arms, the legs. Exhale, and our last one. Exhale, sink down, release down into your child's pose. Relax, release here. Melt the belly, melt the chest. Bring some much needed movement into the hands, wrists and fingers. Circle in, moving the fingers. And just relax, release for a moment. Coming back to the breath. Observe the whereabouts of the breath in the upper back body. Maybe slowing the breath down in child's pose. Nice deep breaths counting to 3 on the way in and on the way out. Allow yourself to do that a couple more times. Inhale here. As you exhale, slowly, carefully uncurl the spine. Coming all the way back up. Well done. We're going to remove everything from our mats. We're going to get ready for our inversion downward facing dog. So remove your blankets, please. Remove your socks unless you've got your special yoga sticky socks. And let's come back into that lovely tabletop position again. Being mindful here of our wrists, our hands and our fingers. Keep the knees hip width apart. Push the earth away. Inner elbows in towards one another. Keeping our gaze down towards the mat to keep that length through the spine. Push the earth away. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Tuck your toes under. When you're ready, sink back. Push up into downward facing dog. Try in here to keep the shoulders active, releasing the neck totally, the crown of the head towards the earth. Bend the knees if it feels better. You want to draw those ribs towards the thighs. Breathe in. Let's walk the dog slowly. Stretching out through the backs of the legs. Don't be shy. I'm just having a little wiggle through the lumbar spine into the back of the hips there. That feels good for you. Coming back to your static downward facing dog when you're ready. Let's shift the weight into the left foot, reach up with that right leg. Let's take 3-legged dog. If this is enough, stay here. If you want to take it one stage further, take a bend in that right knee, shift that right foot to the outside of the left hip, enabling you perhaps look underneath your right arm today. Level the hips back up, release that right foot down, walk the dog slowly. Coming back into your static downward facing dog, balancing that up on the other side, shift the weight to the right foot, lift the left leg up. If this is enough, stay here. If you want to take a slightly harder variation, take a bend in that left knee, shift that left foot to the outside of the right hip, really open up through the hips today. Breathe, looking underneath your left armpit perhaps. Level the hips back up, release that left foot down. Walk the dog slowly. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Take a break if you need to. Check the wrists, hands and fingers. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Well done. Bend your knees. Look towards your hands, taking as many steps as you need to. Make a safe transition to Uttanasana or forward fold. Deciding the best position for your hands today, maybe on the front of the shins, around the back of the legs, or maybe on top of the feet.
But take the hands to the inner elbows, making that box shape as you gently rock from side to side. Keep the knees bent. Just be aware of how the hamstrings are feeling, how the spine's feeling. Release the neck totally, crown of the head towards the earth. Don't want any neck strain. Come back to center. Release the hands from the inner elbows if they're there. Take a moment here, breathing deeply into the upper back body, into your lovely calming, cooling forward fold, Uttanasana. Drawing the chest towards the sides, maybe releasing the neck and the head a little bit more. Inhale here. As you exhale, push down into the feet. Keep the fingers, the hands and arms really heavy as you start to safely stack each vertebrae on top of one another. Breathing into the upper back body, using the strength in your legs, in the core, to make that transition slowly, carefully, all the way back up. Not rushing this part. The last thing to come up will be your neck and your head, and then you're able to straighten through the legs, straighten through the knees. Come in to face me when you're ready. We're going to come into Malasana Garland pose, which is a nice wide-legged squat. You will need a yoga block if you have one, or a hard back book, a large hard back book. Just to give you a little bit of height underneath the soles of your feet, and you want to come to standing on your block or your hard back book with the toes out to the top two corners of your mat. You can have the balls of the feet firmly pressing into the floor, the heels on your brick or on your book, and we can have nice active legs as we stand here, even with our feet in this position. Again, finding that lovely length through the spine, what a nice neutral pelvis. We can soften and release the shoulders, finding that length through the neck, up through the crown of your head. Let's bring the hands to Anjali Mudra at heart space. Inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to push down into the feet. We're going to start to widen through the pelvis as we bend the knees. Now this might be enough today. Keep drawing the navel in towards the spine, so the tailbone down at this point. Keeping that connection around the pelvic floor, it might be possible for you to squat a little bit lower. Where it feels comfortable through the hips, through your balance and your legs and knees today. Keep breathing. Remaining very much on the balls of your feet. Nice deep breaths here. Inhale here. As we exhale, push down into the feet, into the heels. Slowly, carefully making that transition all the way back up to standing. We can release the hands, the arms. Just allow the feet to come all the way back down onto the mat. We're going to remove our block or our book from our mat. We're going to come into a cardio flow version of Utkatasana chair pose. Starting in a good Tadasana, good mountain pose, feet hip width apart. Sensing the connection with the four corners of the feet, drawing that energy, that Pada Bandha energy up through the insteps and the legs. A nice neutral pelvis, draw the navel in towards the spine, the tailbone sinking down. Once again, finding that length through the spine, the neck, the crown of the head. Keeping the navel drawing in, keeping the length through the spine. The next time you inhale, take the arms out in front, sink down into your imaginary chair. As you exhale, bring the hands to Anjali Mudra, come back up. Let's repeat. Inhale, sit down. Exhale. Let's do a few more here with your own breath. Keep that navel drawing in, prevent the lumbar spine from arching out too much. Good. Starting to feel that into the quads maybe. Let's do 4 more. How are you getting on with drawing that navel in towards the spine? It makes so much difference in this pose. It protects your lower back and really works those muscles in the tummy. Okay, I've done 1 more here. Keep breathing here. Keep out stretching through the arms. Keep that connection around the belly. When you're ready, come all the way up. Bring your hands to heart space. Well done. Take a moment here. Catch your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Counting to 3 again. 3 on the way in. 3 on the way out. Couple more. After the next exhale, let's release the arms, hands and fingers. We're going to reach for our yoga brick or a smaller hardback book, and we're going to place it towards the top right hand side of our mat. We're going to come into a flow involving reverse warrior into extended side angle. Come back into your Tadasana. Ground it through the feet, nice active legs, length through the spine, soften, release the shoulders, come into a comfortable wide stance. So check as you widen the feet, widen the stance, you don't feel unbalanced here. If you do, make the stance slightly shorter, but turn the toes on your right foot out. Turn the toes on your left foot into 45 degrees, and then level, straighten up your hips and your ribs to the face knee. Take a nice bend in that that right knee. The right knee is directly above the ankle. You can see the big toe, and then push down into the outer edge of that left foot. Don't forget to guide your ribs and hips towards me. As you do that, check this knee doesn't move on the right side. Reverse your warrior, left hand to the left thigh. Raise the right arm up and over. That left hand is nice and light on that thigh. Keep breathing. Sit down a little bit further if you can. Inhale here. As we exhale, just going to move through your warrior to extended side angle. So you can either take your right hand on your right thigh, raise the left arm up, gaze over towards the left. Or take a bend in the right elbow onto right thigh, take the left arm up and over. You can keep your gaze in front or look up towards the left. You want that left arm as close as you can to your left ear. Inhale here. As we exhale, reverse warrior. So just moving the torso and the arms. Keep the legs exactly where they are. Left hand lightly on left thigh again. Take the right arm up and over. Sinking a little bit further through that right knee. Inhale here. As we exhale, coming into extended side angle. So remember, you've got the option to take the right hand on the right thigh. Take the left arm up, gaze up to the left. Or find your brick or your hard back book and bring it in front of that right foot. Press down onto the top of that brick as you take the left arm up and over. Opening the chest, try and prevent concave in the chest and the tummy. You don't want to be coming forward. It's very much a side bend. You can take the brick a little bit lower if you want to. Whatever feels comfortable through your hip, your back, and your body. Gaze towards me or over towards the left. Left arm as close as you can to the left side of your head. Inhale here. As you exhale, reverse warrior. So just moving the torso and the arms. Keep the legs where they are. Keep that bend through the right knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, our final reverse warrior, our final extended side angle on this side. So right hand onto right thigh, raise the left arm up, gaze over towards the left. And this time take your block behind your right foot. As you come into extended side angle, right hand behind the right foot, taking the left arm up and over as close to the left side as your head as you can. Gaze towards me or over towards the left. Breathing deeply here, squatting down a little bit further through that right knee if you can. Change the height of your brick if you want to. Inhale here, as you exhale, reverse your warrior. Keep that bend through the right knee, left hand onto left thigh. And then straighten through that right leg. Just taking that side bend a little bit deeper over towards the left. Inhale, as you exhale, come all the way up. Release that right arm. Let's turn the toes and the feet all the way around. Move your brick or your hard back hook to the front of the left hand side of your mat again. A nice comfortable wide stance. Turn the toes on your left foot out. Turn the toes on your right foot in. Take a bend through that left knee. Knee safe directly above the ankle. You can see the big toes. Pushing down into the outer edge of that right foot as you guide your ribs and hips towards me. Check you don't lose that safety. Through the left knee. Reverse your warrior. Right hand onto right thigh. Take the left arm up and over. Breathe in, squatting down a little bit more through that left knee if you can. Inhale, as you exhale, come into extended side angle. Either left hand on left thigh, raise the right arm up, turn your gaze over towards the right, or lean over. Taking a bend in that left elbow, palm facing upwards, reaching over that right arm as close as you can to the right side of your head, sinking down, gaze towards me, or over to the right. Push down into the feet, inhale here. As you exhale, keep the bend through the left knee, reverse your warrior. Left hand to the left side of your head, right hand onto right thigh. Inhale. As you exhale, extended side angle, finding the brick in front of your left foot. Push down into the brick. Take your right arm up and over in your side bend to prevent the chest and the tummy concaving. Right hand to the right hand side of your head. Gaze towards me or over towards the right. Sink a little bit further down into that left knee. Of course, you can change the height of that brick if you want to, and only if the body feels comfortable. Inhale here, as you exhale, keep that left knee bent. Reverse your warrior. Right hand lightly onto right thigh, sinking down a little bit further through that left knee. Inhale. As you exhale into extended side angle, take the brick behind your left foot, push down into that brick as you take the right